Lola Mitchell, aka Gangsta Boo's first solo album dropped, man, it was a crowning moment for my hometown. 1998, pre-social media era, a time when all of our entertainment came from actually going out, the radio, or the television. A time when people would sit and watch music videos for hours on end. So when Gangsta Boo released the visual to her first single, Where the Dollar's At, man, I was proud as shit. See, every major city had female MCs to claim, like Mia X, Lady of Rage, and the countless female rappers from the East Coast. They all had a strong presence on BET and MTV, but now the country was being introduced to something different. See, southern cities like Atlanta, New Orleans, and Houston were already aware of Gangsta Boo via 3 6 Mafia, but nobody was prepared for her reintroduction. The video begins with a young Gangsta Boo leaving her mom's house for the first time to make it big in New York. After a quick embrace with her mother, DJ Paul's bass-heavy track dropped and Boo attacked like a hungry lioness. Miss Mitchell's concept for the video was brilliant because it displayed 3 different sides of her rap persona. The sexy white dress displayed the business side. The black dress and fur displayed the gangster we all know and love. But the ending introduced the world to something new. Stripper Boo. Mind you, this is 1998 and movies like The Players Club were still buzzing, especially in the South. So when Ronnie made her appearance, it was officially drop the mic time. But no, the video didn't end there. A young DJ Paul and Juicy J jumped in and turned the knob up even higher. While Ronnie and Boo took turns twerking on tables, her label mates closed the song out while money fell from the sky. Although Where the Dollar's At propelled Boo's album to gold status, there were no follow-up songs worth mentioning. Tracks like Fuck You, Wanna Go to War, High Off That Weed, and let's not forget Kill, 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 Murder, Murder, Murder obviously fell flat on listeners' ears. In my opinion, the ultra-violent, super gangster shit killed the vibe that Where the Dollar's At created. She instantly reverted back to that drug-induced, devil-worshipping style on tracks like Money and the Powder and Who We Be that 3 6 Mafia had become infamous for. Boo eventually parted ways with the group in 2001 after a tumultuous relationship with one of the group's founders, DJ Paul. Although it was always rumored, they both verified these rumors in interviews several years later. Boo had the opposite effect on the other boss of 3 6 Mafia, Juicy J. Neither Boo nor Juicy has ever elaborated on the decades-long beef. However, Boo told a story while giving an interview to DJ Vlad about how Juicy J had her removed from the back room at a concert he had in Memphis 10 years later. Whatever the beef was about in 2001 was enough for Juicy to ban her for life. Boo rode the wave of inquiring minds for a few more years before leaving Memphis altogether. She landed in Atlanta and started working with another Memphis native, super producer Drummer Boy. Drummer Boy has produced for artists like 2 Chainz, Birdman, T.I., Gucci, and other top-tier southern rappers. On the surface, their business relationship made sense, but nothing really came out of their partnership. She would make sporadic posts on social media showing them working on projects that never really came to fruition. Boo did manage to work with Eminem and Yellow Wolf on a song that I've never heard or really care to listen to now. Boo left Atlanta and landed in sunny California, where she would often post weed-smoking hippie videos while seemingly enjoying her life. In those videos, a tatted white guy would randomly make cameos, always smiling and smoking with her. That guy would later be described as Emmett, her boyfriend/fiance. The couple later appeared on season 17 of Marriage Boot Camp in 2020, and for most of the country, that was their first time seeing Gangsta Boo since Where the Dollar's At made her a star over 20 years ago. Season 17 included Rich Dollars and Mariah Lynn from Love and Hip Hop New York, K. Michelle from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Lyrica and producer husband A1 from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and of course Gangsta Boo and Emmett. The show was obviously scripted and filled with the same nonsense from the previous 16 seasons. However, a scene that wasn't scripted was when the producers found a plastic baggie full of booger sugar in Boo and Emmett's bedroom. The production team decided to confront the couple on air, and it went bad expeditiously. Boo's initial response was simply, "Oh my God," on which the interviewer replied, "Just tell me what it is." Realizing that her back was against the wall, Boo got defensive. "Look, I don't know what it is or what y'all talking about for real. I honestly don't know at all, and at this point, I'm over it. I don't have nothing on me, and they search everything. She then turned to Emmett, who remained silent during the entire ordeal, and asked, "Do you want to vouch for that?" When Emmett didn't respond, she went on a defensive tirade and was ready to vamp, a term that simply means, "Nigga, I'm looking for the nearest exit." She later posted on Twitter saying that they were set up and that the drugs were planted and staged. It initially blew over simply because nobody cared. One of Boo's last time on a national stage was during a versus battle with Bone Thugs and Harmony. Versus was a competition between artists that was created during the height of the COVID epidemic by producers Timberland and Swiss Beats. Initially, the battles were between producers, but quickly transitioned to artists once the demand grew. Fans of these Instagram-only battles began requesting their favorite artists, and the super producers would facilitate those requests. Legendary rivalries were settled online by the fans. Dipset versus The Lox, Gucci versus Jeezy, Jill versus Erykah Badu, and Teddy Riley versus Babyface, just to name a few. Inevitably, the fans requested 3 6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony, due to a long-standing hip-hop beef that spanned 20 years. To the naked eye, this was an odd and obviously random lineup, but to those in the know, this battle had to happen. When Thuggish Ruggish Bone dropped in 1994, the world of hip-hop exploded. Not only were they the first group out of Cleveland, they had a sound that most had never heard. That is, unless you're from Memphis. First, let me say this. DJ Paul and Juicy J sound nothing like Busy, Lazy, or Crazy Bone. However, every member of Bone sounds exactly like Lord Infamous and Koopsta Nigga. These two rappers literally created 3 6 Mafia's sound in the 90s. Unfortunately, Lord Infamous died in 2013 and Coop soon after in 2015, so the younger generation are unaware of their contributions to Southern hip hop. Another reason for the supposed beef was the disdain Bone had for 3 6 Mafia's content, where they openly praised Satan. This argument was hypocritical considering that Bone's first album literally had a song on it entitled Mr. Ouija, a board game used to summon the spirit world. That song only reinforced 3 6 Mafia's claim of plagiarism by the other group. In all fairness, Bone Thugs abandoned this gimmick after their first album. Over the years, the groups would run into each other on the road, but the confrontations were always verbal. I can't speak for the rest of the country, but the anticipation for the verses was heavy in Memphis. Everybody wanted to see these two groups face off and finally settle this decades-long rivalry. Even before the battle began, the energy between the two groups was heavy. I might be biased, but in my opinion, 3 6 Mafia buried the competition. The battle was lopsided and the disrespect from both camps increased by every song. However, Gangsta Boo was back in her element. She was obviously having the time of her life as the group performed hit songs from 3 6 Mafia's heyday. This was the first time in almost 20 years that she and Juicy J shared the stage. In frustration, Lazy Bone threw water bottles and called Gangsta Boo out during one of 3 6 Mafia's songs. That water bottle incited an all-out brawl. Although the violence was unfortunate, the exposure was huge for both groups. For the first time in a long time, the spotlight was back on them. Gangsta Boo and other members were back doing interviews across the country and given the opportunity to reintroduce themselves to the world again. Of course, time passed, people moved on, and life returned back to normal for the group members. They faded back into obscurity as the world jumped to the next trending topic. January 1st, 2023, New Year's Day. While most of America woke up to hangovers and headaches, the city of Memphis woke up to the tragic news about one of our homegrown superstars. Lola Mitchell, better known to the world as Gangsta Boo, died of an apparent drug overdose at the age of 43. Reports claim that she was found unresponsive at a home in Whitehaven, a neighborhood near South Memphis. For the last time, Gangsta Boo was unfortunately back in the spotlight. Those who know the history of 3 6 Mafia and conspiracy theorists like myself can't ignore the obvious curse that seems to follow this group. Whether you're a spiritual person or not, you can't deny the obvious. A rap group that was built on Satan worship and glorified drug use lost half the group to drug overdoses. There's countless videos of Crunchy Black, a former member of the group, openly admitting that devil worship was most definitely practiced by members. Even Boo took the nickname as the devil's daughter. In my opinion, whether it was a gimmick or not, I most definitely believe that there's a penalty for mocking the Most High. You might acquire wealth and fame by going to the other side, but there's always a price to pay. Shortly after leaving 3 6 Mafia, Gangsta Boo reinvented herself as Lady Boo, and although most don't remember, she tried her hand in gospel rap. It was a very brief moment, but I most definitely remember that phase. Our sister was searching for redemption decades ago. I'm sure she quickly realized that there's no market for saving souls in hip hop, but the world is your stage if you're helping to destroy the minds of your listeners. Rest in peace, Miss Lola Mitchell.